In Lesson 48, we'll be finding the fractional part of a number. There are a couple things you need to remember when you're looking for the fractional part of a number. There are some key words in each of the problems that will tell you how to set the problem up. The first key word is what. When you see the word what, you need to choose a variable. It can be any variable you like, x, m, n, doesn't matter. The next key word is of. Anytime you see the word of, you need to put a multiplication sign. The last key word is. Wherever you see the word is, you need to put an equal sign. Now it's time to try a problem. In example 1, it says, what fraction of 20 is 140? So, the first thing we come to is what? Let's put down the variable x. The next part is of, so we'll write multiplication. 20 is tells us to put equals, and then 140. Now we're going to use our opposite operations. If I want to solve for x and get it by itself, I need to get rid of the 20. X and 20 are being multiplied. The opposite operation would be to divide. So I'll divide both sides by 20. When I do that, these 20s cancel, leaving just the x, and 140 divided by 20 is 7. Since the problem asked for what fraction, we do need to write 7 over 1 so that it is in fraction form. In this second example, we're asked 7/5 of what number is 3/8? Again, we'll just read the problem and write down exactly what it tells us. 7/5 would be 7 over 5. Of tells me to multiply. What number needs to be an x? Is equals 3/8. Now, if I want to solve for x, and x is being multiplied by 7/5, I need to do the opposite, which would be to divide. But we have a problem. We can't divide fractions. So instead of dividing by 7/5, I need to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 5/7. And whatever I do to one side, I do the same thing to the other side. Now when I do that, on the left side, the 7's cancels and the 5's cancel, leaving just the x. On the right hand side, there isn't anything that'll cancel, so I multiply top times top, bottom times bottom. That gives me 15 over 56. Since that number cannot simplify, I'll circle it. That's my final answer. Example 3 says 5/13 of 26 is what number? Again, we will just write it exactly as it is said. 5/13 of tells me to multiply. 26 is what number? This time, x is already by itself, so I just need to find out what 5/13 times 26 is. Remember to put the 26 over 1, and then look for things that'll cancel. 13 goes into 13 one time, and into 26 two times. So now I'm left with 5 times 2 on top, and 1 times 1 on the bottom. But I don't have to write the 1. So my final answer is x equals 10. Now it's time for you to try one. Let's see if you can find 2/5 of what number is 10. Pause the video, try it by yourself, and then turn it back on to see if you got it right. Okay, let's write the problem down. 2/5 of what number is 10? I want to solve for x. X is being multiplied by 2/5. So typically I would do the opposite operation, which is divide. But since it's a fraction, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I will multiply both sides by 5/2. When I multiply the left-hand side, everything cancels, leaving just the x. On the right-hand side, I need to rewrite the 10 as 10 over 1. Look for anything that'll cancel. 2 will go into 2 one time and into 10 5 times. That leaves me with 5 times 5, which is 25. So x equals 25. Why don't you try one more? Pause the video and then turn it back on to see how you did. Alright, this time we have 6/7 of 217 is what number? X is already isolated, so all I need to do is multiply 6/7 times 217. Let's put the 217 over 1 and then look for things that'll cancel. 7 will go into 7 one time, and 7 goes into 217 31 times. Now I'll multiply. 6 times 31 is 186. 1 times 1 is 1, so I don't need to write that. Final answer is x equals 186.